let's do a special review here. So this is a candy I have never actually used. So this is actually not a review demonstration, but a installation and first use. It's not brand new in its box, however, what it did do was spend 20 odd years on a canal boat and never been switched on. Right, so the drain pipe is free, and as you can see, no dirt in it whatsoever. Right, so we'll quickly go through the buttons. At the top, we've got a lock button there to open the door, on, off, no spin, and extra rinse. And if we look inside, we've got all our paperwork. Our label there, which was A energy rated at the time, and gave it a C spin at 1000 RPM, and uses 42 litres of water. Obviously we've got our warranty form there to fill out. Don't think it's going to work anymore. And that's Candy. Top up your 5-year parts cover with a 5-year labour protection plan. Let's have a quick look, see how much it was. No, it is something interesting. So, if you wanted to add an automatic washing machine to an additional 4 years, it would cost you £174.80 extra. That's an additional... Wow, that's quite a lot. That's like almost an extra £45 a year. I was going to say that's actually quite a lot, but it isn't. But the thing is, you should... they won't cover it beyond 5 years, though. And that's, of course, where it's a little like, well... It's going to break down more likely after the 5 years. It's going to break down with either in 6 months or after the 5 years. Don't get me wrong, it is a candy. But this is a bit more different to any standard candy. There's our instruction manual with it as well. So I'll go through it on here afterwards. Another thing as well, so we've got a manual. Our drum's never been used. In fact, actually, it's got like a weird coating, I think, over the drum. Our door seal is immaculate. And the drum doesn't move at all. I suspect that the transit bolts are still in. Let's not make that mistake again, shall we? But it has that whole new washer smell. Oh. Lovely. Absolutely lovely. Some people don't like that smell, and that's why they recommend running an ICW program. And it gets rid of all that kind of coating and all that, which then makes it not as good. So, we'll get ourselves a 7mm socket. And we've got 2 screws, 2 bolts to remove. Got one here. It's right away. Yep. That, lift off. Yep, it has never been used. Take that off. We have our little receipt there. Now, I'm going to have to remove that so we can get this off. So take that off. That reveals our 2 bolts we need to undo here. We need ourselves a 19mm spanner. Or a socket. But we'll use a spanner. And then this should be able to move. There we go. Got that. And we got this on top as well. But you can keep that in. And we got our receipt. Which isn't... Oh, never mind. I broke it. This is a lot newer than I actually thought it was. 18th. It's very hard to see, but that says 18th of the 6th, 2007. Oh well. Never mind. Then we'll reattach the lid. Under there, like that. Slides on. Put our 2 bolts back in. This didn't come with a water pipe because that would still be on the canal boat. Right, down at the bottom we've got a flap. Flip the flap down and we've got a filter. It's going to be empty, of course. Twist that and it comes undone. And it's not a candy one. That's been sat there for 20 years. But unlike the full size ones, that filter's a lot easier to put back in. Now we've got a little eye here, and I'll show you why in a minute. So, dispenser, pull it out towards you, and we've got 2 compartments, and that's it. So this side is for your main wash detergent. That's 60 ml of bio powder, and you can see how little it has filled it. So deceptively, that's a lot bigger than you think. We've also got our fabric softener compartments. We're not going to put any in, but if you do, don't go beyond maximum. Maximum I think's like 75 ml at most, so don't do that. If you're selecting a pre-wash, or the 32-minute rapid wash, put the detergent straight in the drum. So you pull it out, and yeah, there's nothing there. I think what's supposed to be on there is all your programs, but Candy didn't bother printing on it. Right, I'll start off with programs 1 through to 4 then. So program 1 is cotton 90 with a pre-wash. Put your detergent into the drum directly for the pre-wash section of the dial, basically, and as well into the main wash compartment. It's made for washing heavily soiled laundry. It does recommend to reduce the load from 3.5 kilo to 3 kilo of laundry to get better results. Program 2 is cotton 90 degrees. Made for washing, again, sort of heavily soiled laundry that needs antibacterial properties applying to it. Program 3 is your Colour Fast Cotton 60 program. At 60 degrees. This also gives your A energy rating for the machine, as well as that 42 litre water usage. Program 4 is non-colour fast cottons at 40. Max load for this program is 3.5 kilo, which is an improvement over the old 40 degree program, which used to have to reduce which which is where you had to reduce the load. Also, colour fast cotton, again, is also 3.5 kilos. The one thing that this machine has is automatic load sensing on it, so if it's got a smaller load, it will run a quicker cycle. This is your bleaching stage, made for bleach up to, again, 3.5 kilos. This is your rinses and final spin. It will do 3 rinses as standard. If you push extra rinse, it will carry out a 4th rinse. This is your final rinse and spin with fabric softener. 1 final rinse followed by the full length final cotton spin. Then we've got cotton final spin at 1000 RPM. Then stop. Then program 5 is nylon at 60 degrees, max temperature of 60, max load of 2 kilo, which is about half a load roughly, made for obviously washing man-made fibres. Then you've got coloured synthetics at 50 degrees, and then sort of acrylics at 40 degrees on program 7, all taking 2 kilograms of course. Then you've got rinses and spin, again, it does 3 rinses, followed by a short, slower spin. Of course, if you push extra rinse, it will do an extra rinse on top of that. Then you've got final rinses and spin. It will do 1 final rinse with fabric softener, followed by a short, slow spin. Then we've got short, slow spin. Doesn't stay anywhere, but I think it's around 800 RPM. Of course, I'm just guessing here because I haven't actually used the machine yet. Also, normally I give you timings roughly, but I can't because I've not even switched it on yet. And stop. Then program 8. And program 8 is delicates at 40 degrees. Max load is 1.5 kilos. It washes with a more gentler wash action as well as more water. And then program 9 is woolens at 40 degrees, even more gentle action, and does ends with a final spin. Then you got hand wash at 30 degrees. Again, a gentle action, more water. Both 9 and 10 have a max load of just 1 kilo. It's about a third of the drum. Then you've got rinses and spin. Again, 3 rinses followed by a short, slow spin. Final rinse and spin, but obviously for woolens and delicates. And then a short, slow spin at 800 RPM. It's a lot more shorter than the synthetic side, so just be aware of that. Then you got drain only, which is to discharge any water out of the machine. Then you got rapid 32. Now rapid 32, if you're using this, put the detergent directly in the drum, and that's because this runs off a mechanical actuator for the dispenser. It may have been changed by this point, but at this point it was actually already on pre-wash, so that's why you have to put it into the drum. So it diverts the water directly into the drum with this. And what this is for is made for washing 2 kilos of lightly soiled cotton and synthetic laundry up to 50 degrees, which isn't bad. It ends with 2 rinses and a short spin at 800 RPM as well. I'm going off a bit of my nana's Candy Nova, which is what this program dial is based on. So it's a bit of guesswork, but I think that's roughly what it does. And then of course it goes to stop. Right. Oh, also, just a note as well, we have variable temperature. We've got cold, 30 degrees, 40 degrees, 50 degrees, 60 degrees, 70 degrees, 80 degrees, and maximum, which is 90 degrees. Just to also note, this machine runs with a 1100 watt heater. So, even though it may have a small drum, it ain't quick heating. That's actually already quite hot. We're already up to like about 60 at least. Right, so what to give this out of 10 then? Well, I can't actually give a proper final review because I've only just started using it. The items that I put in weren't actually that dirty. They were just there small to kind of help clean it out for its first cycle. Spin performance. It's pretty poor. That is poor. And that's poor for 1000, let alone the fact that, you know, it spins at 1000. In comparison, say, there's a new FC 1200 that would have been running alongside it, as well as along the ZWC 1300, which then replaced it, which still came out before this ended. Then, yeah, spin results are poor. Cycle times, I can't tell you, but what I can tell you is that this 90-degree wash cycle didn't actually last incredibly long. It was a good length wash, followed by a few rinses and everything, but it wasn't too bad. I can't explain though for the rest of the timings or, you know, or them cycles, whatever. Rinses, good. Wash performance is probably okay, and the spin performance is poor. So, also, I like the fact you have got a good mix of programs with the variable temperature, as well as options. They have always kept it to 4, and no different here then. So, you know, you got your door lock on off, which has always been on every single one, as well as no spin and extra rinse. I suppose having 2 options instead of, say, 1 of the 80s and none of the 70s and 60s is a lot better than what you used to, you know, that you get now rather than back then. I like the flap actually at the bottom. I like the flap at the bottom. It actually properly fixes down and properly clips up, which is a lot better than the freestanding models. Usual cycles come back with the timings for them cycles, or rough timings for them cycles, and tell you, and add it to this video before it goes up for publishing. But right now it's going to get a 7.5 out of 10. It's worse than the Zanussi in every single way, but it's a lot better than a freestanding version of the exact same machine. That's me telling the truth there. Yeah. So it's pretty cool. It's okay. It's alright. So there we go. Right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another review. So, bye for now. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to comment down below. I am going to film this machine both in wash races and on its own, so you can see them in the future. The wash races will be against the equivalent Zanussi FC 1200, and there may also be a generation Candy race if I can get hold of another few machines, but in the near future it will be against the FC 1200. So there you go. Right, bye for now. So to add on to this final bit of the review, I'm going to re-review it now I've used it for a little bit, and my kind of stance on it kind of still stands with it. Yeah, the spin performance is still poor. The washing ability is okay. You do need to use a lot of detergent though, and that's what's a little bit annoying. Program cycle times about 2 hours, or just under 2 hours for Cotton's 90 or 40, 2.5 hours for Cotton 60, around an hour 40 or so for nylon 60, but an hour for the acrylics 40 program on program 7, and for program 8 it's around 60 minutes, with program 9 being around 50 minutes. Yeah, it's a bit hit and miss really. It does do better than the Zanussi in certain cycles and in certain areas. Certainly though, I think the spin performance is just way better than Zanussi by a lot. We're comparing it against, of course, to this, which is still running alongside that when it was first released. However, by the time this particular itself came out, the ZWC 1300 had taken over the FC 1200. So, yeah, I'm still going to rate it. I'm going to rate it 6.5 out of 10. The main problem with why I've rated it that is also because it costs more than the Zanussi, which I don't understand. Like, Zanussi's always been more expensive to buy for a full-size machine over the Candy, but But they decided that the Candy Compact, which gave you a slower spin speed and generally less programs, was also then priced higher. And then to end up having to put more detergent in and have worse kind of rinsing ability and spinability. Yeah. Reliability wise, we don't know. The trouble is, because there's not that many, we don't know how often these go wrong. I do know with Zanussi how often they go wrong, but not so with Candy. Or certainly not the small little Aquamatics like this. To say that will the drum spider last as long as the full size machine, I don't know, because we don't know how many are sold. However, going off the basis of how unreliable the Candy Nova and the Hoover 6 were, it's not looking good, is it? So there we go. Right, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to give us a like. Don't forget to comment down below what you like about the machine or don't like about the machine. And I'll see you in another video, so bye for now.